transformative, creative, organizational. Those are the words that I think of you if this really is your dream job. I'm Griffin. I own Inside Reproductive Health. You might be my content director. This is what the job is all about. You're helping us get from here to here as we become the trade media company for the business side of the fertility field for fertility professionals worldwide. We don't expect you to do this overnight, and we definitely don't expect you to do this alone, but this is the direction that we're going in as a company. You've seen our old branding on our website, but as we've developed our weekly podcast and our weekly news digest, the direction that we're moving in is the media source for the business side of the fertility field, just as a company like Skift is the media source for the travel industry. Right now, all the content organization and architecture has just come from my ideas for podcast episodes and for news articles based on who I've talked to and what guests we've gotten and suggestions about what's happening in the field. But now we need a content architecture, and that's where you come in. And this is important because this comes before a content calendar. So if you're used to making SEO content calendars or even social media content calendars, this is really something a couple leagues above that. We have different main segments and sub-segments to our audience, like fertility practice owners, which can be sub-segmented into fertility doctors, which can be further sub-segmented. We have IVF lab directors, and they can be segmented into senior embryologists, junior embryologists, the business side of the fertility field, which can be segmented in many different ways. And then we have core topics that we cover, and we have many subtopics into which they can be sub-segmented. But those have not really been firmly identified or put into any kind of framework. That's where you come in. So it's not just organization, it's also creativity, because we're building a media company. This isn't an SEO content type of role or SEO content strategist type of job. There's not so many people in the fertility field that you're going to be finding long tail keywords or competitive sites that you can copy from. We are the first trade media company for the fertility field. And the reason why we've been able to grow is because we've brought people interesting content, and they are starting to see us as a media company. And so you're going to need to think in these sorts of terms before you can even start to develop the content calendar for exactly what's created. Because while certainly not alone, you're responsible for helping us to grow our audience size, which right now our subscribers are 1,800. We reach a few thousand unique listeners and readers over the course of the year to over 18,000 email subscribers. And you won't do that by finding things on SEMrush or SEO tools to be able to create different types of keyword content. It's going to be from thinking about what does this field really care about. You've got to identify the topics. You got to identify the people to talk to. You got to identify who the big players and the big trends are, because you're going to be giving your content calendar to our podcast manager, to our news digest editor, who will then go and pursue the news articles and the podcast interviews from your direction. We'll help educate you. You don't have to come into this with extensive knowledge of the fertility industry. We have resources on the players and the trends in the fertility field. We have resources about our company. We also have over 200 podcast episodes that we've already created, 50 plus news articles that we've created. And these are what executives who are new to the fertility industry, if they come in to run a fertility clinic network or other verticals in the fertility industry, and they have no experience with the fertility field, they're geeking out on our podcast episodes. I get LinkedIn messages and emails from executives who are new to the fertility field constantly saying that they are binging on all of our past content so that they can get caught up on the fertility field. And you're going to have to want to do the same thing. If that's not exciting and interesting to you, you're not going to like this job, because it is a field where people know what's going on at a general level already. So the type of content that would work for Healthline or BuzzFeed or interesting topics just about the fertility field generally won't be of value to our audience because they already know that in spades. They're looking for very specific information or angles that are very particular to what they've got going on and about the people that they know. If you're excited about being a sponge and learning everything you can about what's going on in the fertility field and you really care about that, you want to know who the players are, what the trends are, you want to get more and more and more specific, then you'll enjoy this. Then once you've established that structure, we want your creativity to help us move into a much richer media company. We're not going to do this overnight, but you can see how a company like Skift has segments by different subverticals of their industry: hotel, online travel, tourism, airline. They sell reports. They take their existing news content and break that off into little 2-minute podcast episodes. They segment the other types of content into cool series like a lounge and their airline weekly lounge, and they've got meeting news and they've got hotel business news. They segment in many different creative ways by topic and subtopic and audience and sub-audience, and we want your creativity and organization to do the same. We are growing into a company that isn't just a blog or isn't just a little newsletter that pops up here and again. We want it to be a brand, and we want you to be a part of what this company evolves into. So if you're that type of content manager or content director, you might really enjoy this, and I look forward to talking to you.